Hello, are you surprised to see our ugly mugs back? Because we are here for the Samsung S&C Fast 5. Not quite yet, the tiebreaker. We got to go through this because our regular season has concluded. Even though we do have the tiebreakers to decide some additional seeding going on, let's first go over this to look at all the different fun stats we have, especially for Week 7. So I want to look at the S&C Fast 5. What stands out to both of you? So we'll start with you first.
Oh, well, I think ADC first kill. Obviously, a little bit of level 1
Wow,
cheese.
that is normal. That seems normal.
Pretty, level 1 cheese coming through for a wild card, as is tradition.
That seems very normal to me.
Yeah,
Very
so
healthy,
normal.
very normal.
Absolutely. All the other stats are so close. Like, there's nothing that really, he's like, oh my God, it's crazy. Everything
That's
else
kind of why
is very
I give you the opportunity because
because now Beatdown has to find what he wants to talk about.
Oh, I mean, I already knew. I think Perry getting fastest level 6 is kind of cool. I mean, Perry's like a player who really been turning it up towards the end of the split. I mean, he's someone who even said since his time on Dig Academy last year, subbing, he was more of like the passenger. He wants to be the carry, and he's been doing a lot of that. So seeing that reflected in these stats too is kind of nice.
I just like seeing any stats about Cincinnati Fear. This team, they've gotten a believer out of me. I'm telling you, this with all they've done.
Oh yeah.
I mean, their season has been great. The players are fun to talk to and talk about. But let's talk about a couple of other stats, like you were talking about, Lennon. A lot of these are very close, like seconds apart. I will say one that is a little striking for me is Sword actually being the number 1 support for fastest item transformation. It kind of leans into how we've seen FlyFam play this weekend. They did not look like the FlyFam we've seen all season.
I love to see also, that is a huge point, but I also love to see a lot of the new additions being already in the name places of these Samsung Fast 5s, because you're seeing Diplex, right? Fastest mythic item. He just came in for Cloud9 being swept up with Jimenez. Winsome there. You were talking about Sword, but his challenger partner there on the other side will be joining him there. So a little bit of things that get to stand out from these new players. The Rift Hyper as well, right there in the list in jungle.
I like seeing these. Samsung S&C Fast 5s are always fun to talk about, but we have the pressing matter to deal with. It's very important. We alluded to it. We've talked about it. It's been all day spoken about as we cycle our way into the finish lines. It is neck and neck between a few of these teams, especially for standings. Can either of you figure out the context clues that I'm trying to give to you?
Hold on.
I'm sorry, bro. I got.
Hold on.
Lennon, what are you cooking?
Let's see if I can find something.
Okay.
No, that's not gonna happen. Well, I didn't want to rip my tie in half, but
I thought that was what you were
Let's
doing.
go!
Yeah, I gotta love it. I'm excited. Tiebreakers are always fun to have. We have 2 of them, so we got one here on this channel for the 4th seed, 4th or 5th seed between Cincinnati Fear and Golden Guardians Challengers. While on the other stream, Team Liquid Challengers will be taking on a wild card. We got a lot of fun to talk about with these because we just saw Golden Guardians. We had a little bit of a treat. Well, you guys didn't. I did because I was able to watch it.
We saw a couple minutes,
You were doing something else. It was weird.
Something else. I wonder
I don't know what I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But I was watching it. We had Concept bust out his Singed in game 1 to pick up that victory. It was very convincing out of Golden Guardians. But then game 2, the Belveth 4th pick and the Zach
I did see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
With Garen having been banned. It's funny because I was in chat too, being like, before Zach was even locked in, I'm like, Zach's actually looking pretty good right now. And certainly enough, it gets locked in a little bit later. But it looks like we actually have a little bit of a treat. We can show the roster just to make sure everyone knows who the players are that are going to be playing.
Shout out to the Monkey Bubble, by the way.
Gotta love it. This is only a best of 1. It is one singular game to decide what the standings will be. So with Golden Guardian Challengers, I was talking about Concept having played his classic Singed. It was great to see. Young
Concept's wildin' recently. That's all I'm saying. He's wildin'.
He's good. And then Young played Kassadin, but it was a blind Kassadin. So, no, it wasn't blind. Annie was already showing. But it was difficult in lane because he didn't know what the jungle was going to be, and then had a difficult time piloting that against Annie. So I'm just trying to provide this because I know you two didn't get to watch it. I want to give you a little bit, a little bit of information to work on when you go into the draft. So let's look over at the other side of the standings. And this is where I'll let you two talk a little bit more because Cincinnati Fear didn't play today. We saw
They had a
everything.
rest day.
Yeah, they got a rest. Well, they had a rest day until now.
Yeah.
Now they got to play. So let's talk about Cincinnati Fear. Beat. Looking at this team, what's been that wow factor for you?
I mean, I could tell you something about like everyone on this roster. The overall thing for me with this team was that at the start of the split, this was one of the rosters from the jump. They had an identity. They're friends. They've been playing together months before this announcement was made, and we thought that was an early advantage that was going to be just that, early. But they've been keeping it going all split long. They were top 3 at one point. Of course, now this is the tiebreaker for 4th and 5th place. Of course, winner will be in that 4th place slot. But the fact that Cincinnati Fear have made it to this point, they've played against every team in the league and have had some incredible performances. The only real blowout we've seen was against Dignitas Challengers. I mean, fair enough, you know?
Though
Imagine-
Dignitas have struggled a little bit lately, so letting you go.
This was before that.
yeah.
This was before that.
Imagine at the beginning of Split saying that Fear could be possibly finishing 4th place, right?
wouldn't have
Against
believed
all
it.
these teams, all these rosters that have been put together by these challenger rosters. It's incredible stuff, and it has been the thing of magic for them. And it comes a lot from talking about growing pains throughout the entire season. We can harken back to interviews and talks we had with players like Perry, like you were saying, at the beginning of the season, saying, we just need to all commit to the same play. If we could do that, it works. It doesn't matter if it's wrong. And we saw it. Even if sometimes the hit missed, it was working at it. And 7 weeks later, here we are.
And going into this game, it will be very exciting. The tiebreaker game to decide 4th and 5th seed, which one they will play against, whether that be the 4th seed up against Evil Geniuses Challengers or the 5th seed against AoE Gold. I'll let you two get it underway. Let's get into this tiebreaker. Let's get some hype. Let's go.
It's going to be some fun as we have the last games of the NACL regular season here. The tiebreaker between Golden Guardians Challengers and Fear. We'll see Golden Guardians on the blue side for this one. They do ban away the Varus, but we have to look at the respect needing to be given to a lot of the Fear picks. I know we've seen people bite the bullet a lot of times here.
That's right. And I mean, talking about Fear just a little bit more, one thing I wanted to add that's been so incredible. I mean, we talk about why they managed to keep it going past that halfway point. They never fizzled out. In fact, they're blazing hotter than ever. Is they credit it in recent interviews, their coaching staff. The support system on this team has been something they bring up often. They praise highly, and it's something that's been a big part of their success. And it's been good drafts, great level 1s, and just overall good coordination from this team so far, and it's why they've gotten to this point where no fizzling out. They're fighting for 4th place, and they have a top seed going into playoffs either way.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing is, yes, we're talking about seeding and we're getting all hyped. The tiebreakers are there. It is a change of your matchup going into the first round of playoffs, but it is that double limb bracket, at least in our playoff matchup. So we'll see as who gets to those positions, 4th or 5th here. The rest of the bands have petered out. We have the Ash and the Sejuani banned away by Golden Guardians Challengers, and the Gragas there, that all pivotal flex pick, gone away by Fear towards Golden Guardians themselves.
Right, and what's the first pick going to be? So often teams have been first picking the Gragas, and now that's out of the picture. Sejuani's out of the picture. A lot of these new power picks that are constantly seeing bans are gone. And
Caitlyn.
Golden Guardians, I mean, even the Caitlyn is out of the picture too. So Golden Guardians, what are we looking for here? Or it's likely going to be bot lane, jungle, one of these two power picks.
Yeah.
I mean, Xayah is something that's seen so much first pick. When those
Annie,
other ones are here,
that
Annie
one
is
has
another
been
one.
every time it feels like if it's open, can
That's
go for
true.
that first pick. Now I'm looking for priority for Fear. The best points for Fear are when Harry has lanes to play around. You've got to find something that works, and grabbing that early can be so beneficial for Fear.
That's right. You got a lot of options here for what you want to be going for at this point. This could easily be that Xayah Rakan angle. Wukong has also been great for parry so far, so it's another option too. And at this point, you just want to round it out, start picking things towards your bot lane. And this is exciting too, because I mean, you look at Golden Guardian's side. Oh my God, the Seraphine would actually be crazy.
We said,
remember, this is the best
you
of
have
one.
to respect it. You have to respect it, and they didn't do it, man. The picture's still on the table. We've seen this before. It's like a horror movie that's about to start happening. If they get the Seraphine Tryndamere, and the Seraphine's already locked in here for Fear, and they got their boxing gloves on.
This is the only team in NACL who draws Seraphine bans because they are so willing to play this champion who maybe it's not her old power where it was unbelievable, disgustingly broken, but still an excellent team fighter, good lane pressure whether you put it mid or bot, and it opens up options for things like the Senna, which is up and available and in a much better spot now on 13-4. Would not be surprised to see that go for Trevor and Minui.
Now, I do like this pickup for Array and Prismal. Obviously, the lovers duo very potent right now. We were talking a little bit about that strength, but it is the Faisal Olaf coming through. And we said he needed priority to play around. Well, that's some swinging axes for you right there, Fear.
For sure. I mean, this is the Faisal special. And for a lot of other players, I would question it being this early, but it's a comfortable pick. And they want to get it. It's usually taken away second rotation. So they're going to drop the Trundle. It's an interesting one. And at this point, it's just going to be about taking away
to what Fear want to go, I guess, in the second phase. I'm wondering kind of what the response and focus is now. Obviously, maybe towards these bot laners. Get that Senna out of the way that you were mentioning earlier.
You got to ban the Senna. Like, surely that has to be what they're playing for here. Already you have not a beefy front line necessarily there for Fear, but you have enough of a front line where you have a good team fight. Yeah, it's the Senna going to be taken away. Like, that's a really smart call, and you just have to see something different there for the side of Cincinnati Fear. Could be the Kaisa, and use one of the few 80 carries to go that route into the bottom lane too. Laning phase, not great, especially in Desire or Calm, but if you get to late game, oh my. She hits hard. True.
I do believe Jarvan as he was just played by Rosethorn in the last game, if I'm not mistaken. So that banned away as well. So. And that's something else that we haven't really factored in, or at least talked about, obviously factored in. But these two teams are in different levels coming to this one. You've got a warmed-up Golden Guardians who just had a hard-fought 1-1 series against Wildcard. Fear coming on their day off into a fresh game. See how that kind of works out for either side. We do have some stability coming through for Fear, though, in the Orianna, and we'll be waiting on their final pick.
I really like that. Great champ on the current patch. Shochi's had some monstrous games on that champion. So having him grab that one is good. Just for team fighting is what we're seeing here. And this Wukong Ori, he plays really well into a mobile mid lane champion. So someone like
it is.
Andy Mid would be under threat.
The original.
Oh my God.
The OG Garen. He's whipping out all the classics. What did I say? Concept's wildin', man. He's back. He's feeling himself back to classics.
Yeah, I mean, tank tops are back. That's the concept special, baby. So he's feeling real confident and comfortable. And now this last pick. What are we seeing here in the jungle? Viego.
There it is.
Surprised it made it this far, but it's a good pick for Rosethorn nonetheless. Early game, scaling, everything you can want.
Gives him a lot of priority as well. When we were talking about Perry on the other side, maybe wanting some priority to be able to play around so that he can be that aggressive point for Fear. And now we're waiting on this final pick to kind of tie this all together and give some of that cohesion here.
Yeah, and at this point, it's got to be an engaged support. Like, you're going to have Minui piloting the Seraphine. He's usually the one who grabs it for this roster, and especially seeing the Aura, we know that's the case. And there it is, Nautilus. It's all in on the team fight. This one is a little tough. I think this is I'm going to be real, I think this is an Aftershock game because there's a lot of damage coming through on Golden Guardian side of the map. And a lot of team fight here for Cincinnati Fear in our tiebreaker game.
And Young... coming off a game where, wanting to maybe prove himself, take the ante here against Shochi, see what he can do. But especially, we get a little bit of that throwback, a little bit of that comfort, but stability for Golden Guardians. I'm looking at Rosethorn early on and to find a way to kind of weave into this late game that Array will be able to pump out, that the tankiness for Concept will really come online, and that we've seen Annie be so potent on. And Fear on the other side, that team fight, that's scary.
It is. And I mean, it's scary on both sides. Like, realistically, you don't have the most amount of CC, which is fine because you have enough team fight on the side of Golden Guardians thing. And the big thing I'm looking for too on their side is you have Rosethorn, you have Perry, 2 on 2 champions where they can have that early game impact. And it starts here. I talked about the level 1s that Fear have been able to get so much value out of in the early game, and they're going for another one here.
Well, we're getting into it now. The final game of the day, our tiebreaker for 4th place. Golden Guardians Challengers versus Fear. Fear already looking for some of those shenaniganeries that we know and love.
Like Prismal doing a little dance, like, sorry, buddy. we caught you. Nothing you guys can do. It's going to give that opening to Rosethorn. The last second after this recall is going to be able to drop that ward, get that information before likely switching to that Oracle Lens. And that's good.
There's a lot of Fear fans out there, by the way, Beatdown. Spam in chat if you are a Golden Guardian fan, because right now Fear fans already know what to do. GGC if you're a Golden Guardian fan. Fear if you are a Fear fan. Get those in chat. See who's going to take this win and who will be our 4th place.
Right. I mean, there you go. We're trying to get some votes for Golden Guardians. I mean, get Golden Guardians some love. They had a tough start to the split, but they managed to pull things out. And I mean, they had some incredible performances towards the middle and the end of the split, which is so incredible for them. I mean, you got Young, who subbed in for Golden Guardians LCS. He talks about how much confidence that gave him and how good of a player he's been all split long. And it's just been true for all of Golden Guardians. You got Array and Prismal, Rosethorn Concept. Everyone's been performing.
And I do want to go ahead and bring back up that conversation of kind of the different levels these teams are coming into this with, right? Fear being fresh, obviously probably having some warm-ups, knowing that something like this was possible. But Golden Guardians, this is their 3rd game in a row. They had to rest, reset, prepare for another enemy. And we're seeing this composition maybe be a little bit belying of that. Some comfort coming out, some stability, like we were saying, and trying to find a way to kind of find a balance between it. Maybe it is momentum that helps them and a little bit of that freshness that hurts Fear.
That's right. Coming in at different levels here so far. He's doing very much in this early game. And Shochi's getting that push. Mid lane. Big deal. We talk about how important, like on the day we've talked about a lot, Lennon, how important that mid priority is, how it's going to give this opportunity there for Perry. And they have that vision as well, so they know where Rosethorn is going to be. And even though you don't have push in this bot lane, like, it's the scaling angle here for the bot lane and Sphere overall. Because this team fight, this Seraphine, is going to be incredible once the itemization comes through.
And Trevor is just looking to get out of lane, right? Go meet up with Fear on those aggressive moves that we said Perry needs to kind of take, and especially with the Wukong. So we'll be looking for some stabilization down there for Fear's side in its own right, but Trevor to get out, get on the map, get something going in a little while. And especially once those big setups come through, there's a lot of CC chaining that can happen for Fear's side once those team fights are arriving. But Perry is taking a little foray here to the top side. Concept has taken a little bit too much damage for his liking to stay alive. Faisal does take that extra tower shot, though. That might change things. Ghost has been popped. Who's going to get first blood? Perry getting low. Concept as well. Getting out with the flash. Can Faisal chase him down? There's the strike and first blood for Fear.
And, I mean, Concept made him work for it. I'll give him that. But no teleport means a big punish here for the top laner of GGC. He's going to lose so much. All that golden CS you're seeing into the turret is just turning into an insane lead for Faisal. I mean, Faisal is going to be like an insane player in this game because there's no one who can really deal with him, especially if he gets early leads like this, Lennon. It means that he's going to be running down Golden Guardians Challengers in this late game. Keep an eye on this Olaf.
And that just makes it easier for Fear to play around. They can kind of bounce around this bottom side and not really need to deal with that and wait for those TPs to really become relevant. And we see a push from mid actually get a little bit of priority for Young, but it's just going to lead to some vision for him. While we do see Perry resetting back onto the top side of the map, cross-map play from Rosethorn trying to come through as he has walked all the way up here, but realizing that vision is already secured by Fear.
Yeah, not a whole lot he's going to be able to do. Does get to steal a blue buff as well, it looked like, while Perry was living it up on the top side with Faisal. The other thing, too, about this Olaf that is so strong, Olaf Seraphine, a disgusting combo. Because while he is sprinting towards you, of course, the Encore will also extend its range when it goes through allies. So it's going to be really hard to avoid Minui's ultimate there. And it's just a wombo combo the Cincinnati Fear are going for means that Golden Guardians need to be very careful, especially the carries. People like Array, Rosethorn, who will be doing a lot of that damage later.
I'm looking at a pretty decent CS lead by Rosethorn in the jungle here. Pretty early pathing from Diego. Gets quicker as it goes, and still looking for kind of kills to go over Diego to really have that big strength. You love to see this at least going forward for Golden Guardians. Trevor, though, he's on that move. We said he needed to get active. Does make his first walk to the mid.
It doesn't have any opportunity for a play yet, but he's going to be looking. That's the big thing there. And him showing, though, his menu has to be very careful. And I like the positioning he's going for, playing very respectfully, even with the vision that he had. It's waiting for his support to show back up. And it's good. It's important. You don't want to give away your life when your support is doing God's work in other lanes, as I'm sure other supports will tell you.
is that what they tell you?
I assume sport players, big egos, you know how it goes. I don't actually
What?
think that.
Is that what? I don't know if that's what goes hand in hand there, but here
No,
goes hand in hand.
it's not.
goes
It's the
Golden
80
Guardians.
carries.
Ooh, okay. Lovers
Except
duo.
for you, Lennon.
Walking down. I see you. We do see actually Perry though taking a little bit of a scuffle on Rose Thorn. Shochi had that first move, so should just be that prio for Golden Guardians. Maybe not helping out too much there, but they should actually turn around and do this first dragon.
You're not ready to fight the Cincinnati Fear, and that's fine. You let go of this dragon, you just keep on farming. I say that, but they're not interested in that actually. They want to fight immediately.
Oh, Perry gets it!
Oh,
he steals
my!
the dragon and the kill to Manui. It will be back in fourth though. Two have gone down. Trevor a little bit low. Young trying to kite out, but it's not enough. Array wants to get another blade caller. He does, and it's such a heavy bloodshed. But luckily the river is running clean as Tibbers has come back, and Shochi is able to help with the help of Trevor get another kill, and multiple go down, but it's 5-2 for Fear.
Oh my god, Fear can and will fight this dragon. Hey, you saw everything they did to go ahead and get it. Even if the steal didn't come through, it doesn't matter. That's just insult to injury. The fight after is what they managed to go for in here. An incredible shockwave from Shochi. Young couldn't get there in time to have the impact he was hoping for. And it took a while, but Fear definitely came up big.
It definitely did, and appreciate Tibbers' attempt there, but Trevor able to come back is a little bit bigger than a bear. And now with that kind of advantage at this point, we're about to be getting first items completed for both sides to some extent, but Rift Herald coming up means renewed priority around this jungle, and Rose Thorn is already front and center.
And the game plan for Cincinnati Fear is so clear, how they've been able to take control of this early game. Now they're almost 3,000 gold up. Yeah, a good amount of gold is on Trevor, but Shochi, Minui, everybody has picked up kills across the board for this Fear roster, and it means an easy Rift Herald on the top side of the map, allowing them to continue to snowball.
He's just, you don't have to do anything, and that's the power of this Minui pick, is just gets to sit there and have fun, hang out. You're not killing a Seraphine if you play defensively, and Trevor could just go around trying to be Spider-Man.
That's right, do his best Spider-Man cosplay, as he's gonna be part of the pressure that helps secure the Herald. And now you got, oh man, I think, okay, he's pathing bot side. I thought he was gonna go.
He just left that ward out for nothing. Okay, maybe it was all.
Yeah, but look look at the cost.
They did cost everything, but they do find a little bit of an engage here. Nice little shockwave, but the wombo combo, Fear, they get Prismal down. It is one else, though. Shochi traded a double kill to Perry, makes it all okay, though.
It's the 2-for-1. Prismal was trying to go for a hole. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped here in me angle, but it didn't pan out. You get one kill, but you lose two in the process, and it's Fear. They keep coming up big in these trades. And no Prismal could be an opening for Rift Herald bottom side of the map.
That could be huge.
Yeah, we'll see the replay here. Again, like, they know Prismal's in this brush, and Trevor is going for the cutoff. So Prismal says, all right, we just move forward then. But, again, shockwave, unreal from Shochi. And even though he goes down, he had his impact.
Now, Rose Thorn able to pick off that kill just because of Viego things. And he does get the one, so that helps out in terms of like at least getting Viego some resources. But now it's where Perry wants to move. Where's Perry going to go? And Rose Thorn's going to have to be a bit responsive. Did get that Gale Force completed, though, at least for Array, while Perry and Faisal obviously have their first items as well. I think that is something that maybe can help out Array and Prismal to find a little bit more strength.
Yeah, that is something. Of course, it's tough because Young is going for the Roa build, of course, as people are so often doing, as Blaze pointed out in the interview. Means that it's going to be a while before you really start to come online. Your big thing is still going to be your passive stun. So really, Array is all you have. And Array is, I mean, a great player, don't get me wrong. The Gale Force is a big spike for him, but now we're past this level 6 mark, and the thing with Fear is that so much of their power comes from their ultimates. Incredible team fight value, and once they start going, it's so hard for you to actually get the damage you want down. By the time Array is able to do anything, he and most of his team are out of the picture.
They're getting so many plates across the map. There's already 3 gone in top side, 4 now gone in bot, and 1 in mid already. That's where a lot of this gold lead is coming. 4,000 in the lead, or Fear.
And they're using this pressure well. They're forcing people like Young out of the jungle, and they've set up so much vision too. Look at these red wards all over the place. So dangerous to walk into your side.
That's the defensiveness, though, coming through. The Encore just denies.
Wow.
And nice responsiveness from Manui. Means that Fear might have a play back into this. Perry pretty strong here, though. Trevor misses the engage. They need to be a little bit more careful, though. Perry getting in trouble. He tries to Cyclone out. He's burning and burning. Is the heal going to come through? It's not enough. The re-engage for Trevor, though. But it can't hit the damage. They don't have the damage. As now Ray, never mind. An auto attack from Manui gets the kill. Shochi taking a couple shots, trying to get a little bit of that command attack damage in there. But now they just focus on the turret. And this could be all 5 plates going over if they play pretty aggressively, and it will.
And that's going to be first brick over to Cincinnati Fear, who just continued to get the snowball. Even though Golden Guardians, looking like they came out on top in that fight, they were too wounded to be able to do anything about the turret going down. And this gold lead continues to balloon. I mean, okay, they did get him. There's something. Shochi might be in trouble. Oh, nice flash.
As that shockwave flashed out of Shochi trying to get the play. Rose Thor takes his soul.
Big flash. Nice outplay coming through from Rose Thor. You managed to get something back. That's a big deal. Punishing Shochi for backing on Vision. That is something. No opportunity for the Dragon yet. Instead, bot lane.
Get 10 plates?
Wait, that's...
They have 11 plates now. Oh my god. This gold is just skyrocketing now. Almost 6,000 here for Fear. And they are sitting pretty. Their comp is 5 when you go to late game team fights.
Half of that gold lead is on Faisal, by the way. Who, I mean, since that first dive, he's just been running the top lane. And we haven't been seeing very much action since then. But I do want y'all to know, when we get to fights...
Concept said he wanted that smoke, and I think he decided he didn't. Those axes hit hard, and Concept goes down. Solo bolo for Fear.
Yeah, I mean... That's a misplay. You can't fight Olaf when you're that behind. The Concept ends up giving his life, and that's just more pressure towards his top side. It means Golden Guardians have to very carefully farm the wave under this mid turret.
He's on a tier 2 tower, by the way.
Oh yeah, he gets this tier 2 tower.
And he's just gonna take it.
Yeah,
that's his. Yeah,
it belongs to him.
Morado? The previous owners have said they want to evict him. And I don't know if this is going to work out here. He's going to run into the tower, maybe giving over to Concept. Oh, no. He's going to give it to Concept. Concept's going to get back into the game, but he can't take him out by himself, maybe. He's just trying to fight him. And finally going down, Concept. He will finally get some kind of gold in his pocket. 600 over to Concept himself.
Hey, so that means the gold lead between top is only 2,000 now instead of 2,600.
Yeah, Tibbers.
Get him. Really all Young's got at the moment here. Waiting for that Roa to stack up. I mean, this has still been an incredible early game from Cincinnati Fear. This is that level of play. And at this point, we have had to just admit that this is a team, one of the best teams we have.
I don't know. Young gets out with the flash. He has another CC available as well. He will take down Tibbers. RIP. But Golden Guardians down will take this Rift Herald now.
Faisal?
Oh, TP's coming in. They want to take down this tier 2 and push into an inhib, baby. Making the cross map play.
No, I love this. They're okay trading objectives. They know they don't have that prio over the Herald, so they're like, all right, we're just going to commit everything to this bottom side.
Tier 2 side towers do give extra gold.
That's right, extra gold, and you get to push these side lanes even deeper, giving you more control over the map. I mean, Fear haven't lost a turret yet. So there's so much map control that they maintain, and because of these Hex Gates, it's easier for them to get on the map faster. Actually limits what Rosethorn is able to take from Perry's jungle, which I mean, that's just insult to injury. Oh,
Faisal's decided he's about to take Young to task. And that's another solo bolo for the top laner. And Faisal is just monstrous.
2 items. Look at that. It's 2 items. Concept.
Don't do this.
No, you can't do this. That's not even like
don't do this.
Yeah, walk away, please. Look, we care about you. That's why we
love your
this.
Karen. We love it. Oh, and now on the other side though, Shochi, he gets caught out a bit. He doesn't make it out. Rosethorn picks up his 3rd kill of the game. That's pretty big. As Rosethorn getting gold is always huge to the get-go. Resets can come out. They did not get Rosethorn out, but they got Prismal out, and at least one survives.
Right, so that's something. But again, everything Golden Guardians take, Fear always takes something back.
Oh, here we go again.
Maybe that's going to change.
Young is a little bit angry. Faisal, he's taking the brunt of that anger. He's trying to take a 1v3, and that ain't going to come out very well for him. Array gets the kill.
All right, and this time around, the question we're always asking when GGC makes a play, what's the cost? This time, it's another turret, more pressure on the map.
Two.
That's what happens though when you're far behind. Your play to catch back up is to overcommit to a side lane and hope you can get a pick. Yeah, you get the pick, but that overcommitment means you lose pressure elsewhere. So it's just good on Cincinnati Fear. Nothing goes without a cost.
And that is the beauty of this growth we've seen from Fear throughout this split. It has been incredible. We started this with a lot of people on the team, people in the community saying, oh, they're fake. They're going to
get exposed.
They're going to get exposed. Here they are, the realest of them all, and playing a macro game that just makes them look so good. They're playing to their comp, and it's working so well. Golden Guardians haven't found an answer in yet.
Right, I mean, they clearly have a game plan. They clearly know what they want to be doing, and it just shows in how decisive they are, how decisive they've always been. Like you mentioned it, Lennon. They always talk about that, how they want whatever the play is. They want to make the play together. They want to commit. And lately, the plays just look better and better, making all those right choices.
It's that trust, man.
Yeah.
You hear it when you talk to them, when you see them in interviews. They always are shouting out teammates. That bond is just there, right? And it is incredible to see throughout a lot of our other teams as well. But Fear especially just hits home.
What hits home is that goal difference we just saw. It's brutal.
Does it? I think it kind of bangs through the door at home.
Yeah, it kind of just kicks it down. Like, hey.
Levels it with like a wrecking ball.
Maybe one of those big like pillar-like things. As a team, they're just knocking the door down, destroying it. You know what I'm talking about? What are those called?
Like a battering ram? Pillar-like things.
I couldn't remember.
I can appreciate that. Pillar-like that. That's what we call them from now on. But Fear are kind of surrounding this with some vision down. They'll see Golden Guardians moving into their jungle. It will be that dragon going over to Fear, though, during this time. So second dragon over to them. Rift Herald spawned in the top lane, trying to get this gold in this side tower.
So this trade doesn't feel as bad for Golden Guardians because you got that dragon. It's not soul point for Fear, which is what they're picking up right now. So they get some gold in their pockets, super important. And another charge here could also be a pretty big deal. The thing is, though, Trevor's nearby. A teleport's coming.
Ooh, that's a bit late. That TP will not come through, and they got banned. Manui's down now. Rosethorn gets the resets. The grand entrance not enough for the Ragnarok Faisal, but he still goes down. A third charge and an inhib tower. My goodness, Golden Guardians have just stepped on the gas.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Maybe we don't take this inhibitor. Oh, wait. Are they going to try and end the game?
No way! This is a 5th charge. It gets killed. Perry goes in with that smite to try to stop it. Shockwave here.
Shockwave.
The defense is stout from Fear.
That is a dangerous call.
Shochi, he gets him. Trevor is on a killing spree now in the Nautilus. Perry's coming back out. Golden Guardians have overstayed their welcome. And Concept actually might get out because of the Hex Gates, but Array, nope, not gonna do it. The Blade Collar is not enough either. He flashes over the wall. Maybe Perry can't get him. He cannot. TP now coming in from Faisal. Maybe they want to collapse. Array, you have nowhere to go. Oh no. Who's going to get it? It is Perry, and they go right onto the Baron. Fear take advantage of momentum and strike back.
Well, the Guardians, they make a desperate play, but they miscalculated whether or not they were able to make it happen. That is That is a critical error. That's going to cost them the game. Like, they're down 8k now. The Baron goes over to Fear after they've lost so much. And more than anything else, no one can 1v1 Faisal. Means that you can have him be the one to push out this top side. But we'll talk about that after.
Looks so
the big
good.
thing here, you cancel the teleport, you get a borderline ace. That's great from Golden Guardians. I'm loving everything I'm seeing. And the love, you even heard me saying, it stops right here. When they start walking towards the inhibitor, they think they can end the game, but I mean, you have Wukong coming through, Shochi's going for the recall. Like, the ultimates are so powerful on this team, they don't have the wave to actually go for something like this. And they get punished heavily because this is where the chase begins. And because of this, I mean, you saw what happened. The Baron came through as a result, and that was Golden Guardians' last chance.
See what Fear can do with what they've gotten themselves. Bounty does go over to Golden Guardians. They still have their bounties up because they are just so far behind. Fear just moving around with this Baron buff. They still have about 2 minutes on that. Gotta get this pressure in. Although they have pushed so far in, that makes it a little bit more difficult to commit. Concept gonna try to make it away from Perry. Perry already does so much damage though. This Concept just getting chased down half health already.
It's brutal. And like all this pressure as well means that Faisal is able to keep pushing on that top side. Like, realistically, he's 2.5 items. He can clear these waves so easily. He's so far ahead of everyone else on the map, and he's impossible to 1v1. He's level 14. He's so strong. It just means that he's going to keep this wave coming through here as long as they're careful. Should be fine. The teleports are coming in. This could literally be the end.
This could be. The Baron buff still there for a minute now. They will try to collapse onto this tower on the top side. Rosethorn on the side. There are a couple last-ditch efforts for Golden Guardians. They have all the tools. They just have to find the right pieces and put them in the right places. As the siege continues here, the cannon minions are doing work. Prismal on the side, can't find the engage. That's already the Encore on top. Grand Entrance doesn't do anything. Faisal has popped the Ragnarok, and 5 stand strong for Fear. They just need to get this cannon onto the turret. They should be able to push this in and get another inhib, or get a inhib.
Okay, so this is a big deal. You got to walk away as Fear after this inhibitor goes down, because you don't have the ability to fight anymore. Golden Guardians know this. Fear's comp. It's all about the ults. Without them down, they're in a lot of danger.
Little bit pull the trigger. Prismal very much ahead of the team here. Not going to be able to find much, but maybe overextending himself. Yeah.
Oh.
Then they have to use the way out, but now Perry will capitalize. He's chasing him down. That's it. Prismal's down. Rosethorn might be next to Ray. You got to try to save him as the defense needs to come through. Concept's trying to push this mid lane and proxy it as best he can.
And I mean, that's something. Means there is no mid lane to help them end the game, but they're going to walk and claim their prize, which is the sole point. That Hextech soul is getting closer and closer. And speaking of, they're getting closer to Concept. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
Let's see the lonely roam as he's heading straight to the double axe man that's been taunting him all game long. As, that turret should come through, and oh, we got a score update. Wild Card have defeated Team Liquid Auto Challengers and secured 8th place. And is it just that provisional tiebreaker day?
And Fear looking like they want to keep that tradition, even though Concept literally makes the greatest of escapes. So we've seen some great ones, but ultimately it's a bittersweet escape as Golden Guardians lose out on yet another dragon. And Cincinnati Fear, they're still looking to put their stamp on this game.
They are indeed, and they have already. As this big lead is still available here. A lot of still scaling aspects of the team composition that we laid out ahead of time. Probably at this point a Rabadon's Death Cap coming in for Manui, and the resets aplenty will lead the Fear back onto the map.
Right, and now it's Golden Guardians who should be feeling that fear, Lennon. Now there's very little available to them because both top inhibitors are down. You have supers basically going back and forth. You just have Concept pushing in sideways where they can, but he doesn't have teleport. So Faisal can answer him so much more easily. And it's brutal. Now you have this top lane that is pushing. Means Fear can't farm there, but they don't care. They're just looking to group as 4. And Faisal ready to join with TP when necessary. We're at the end game.
The end game is upon us. Let's see how our big budget movie is panning out here as a couple last-ditch efforts, as we said, for Golden Guardians lay on the table. See if they can find a way as Fear move in, prowling like the predators they are.
And this is getting tough. You see these items come through. I mean, Faisal had a great game. At his third item, the Frozen Heart, by the way, which is so incredible. And this is a player who we all believe should have been on a Challengers roster. This is a top laner who we just thought at the end of last year, like, this guy's got to get looked, surely. And when he didn't, we were so surprised. I mean, this series, in previous series, of course, everyone on Fear plays well, but Faisal has just been still such an incredible player.
Faisal putting the nice little touching tap on the end of a season that Fear have had such growth in, such strength in, all to the structure that they laid out even early on for themselves. We'll see them try to put some finishing touches here as Golden Guardians just can't find a way, and it's like trying to crack a sea urchin without tools.
That's right. I mean, you know, Otters, at least they have rocks going for them. Is that right, Ms.
It is right. Look at you.
Let's go.
Learning.
Oh my God, I'm learning. I'm paying attention.
Learning.
And Golden Guardians are paying attention to. They're like, oh, whoa, we can't be here. Oh, but Perry
chases.
Perry says it
Gets
doesn't
stuck
matter.
to the face. It's a little flamethrower there, but he wants to go right back in. And Young, he needs to be a little careful. He's already used the Timbers. The Encore catches him out, and he's on a
Timbers
rampage.
counts.
Perry triple knock up there for Trevor, and that's all she wrote for Golden Guardians. They don't have any fight left in them. Concept might be able to proxy some waves, but what does that do in the face of Fear?
Not a single thing, Lennon. It's been a great split for Cincinnati Fear, and they give us one last hurrah at the end of the regular split, demolishing Golden Guardians for that 4th place spot.
See them try to push down these last turrets, and as they do, you may have doubted them, you may have disrespected them, but you will know their name. They put the Fear in NACL and straight into the hearts of the Golden Guardians. Fear take 4th place in the regular season.
And wow, incredible performance from Cincinnati Fear, continuing to show us why they're this team who we're praising highly, why we're giving them this respect now in these last couple of weeks. Beautiful stuff.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. We got to bring back our wonderful host to close out the day with us. Magical. What a banger from Fear. And what a series to close out the regular season.
I never doubted them. I told you I was a believer. I became a believer a while ago, even when everyone's like, it's just the beginning of the season. They had an easy schedule. I'm like, nah. Do not disrespect them. They're going to have this. This is exactly how it happened.
Lennon, you were there. You were in those meetings, Lennon.
This is what happened.
I don't have a track record of who was against it and who was not. I just know that I never said they were phonies.
I never doubted them. So,
hey, man, I'll fully admit it. I did not think Cincinnati Fear were real, and I will hug that L. Now, I mean, the last couple of weeks, they have turned me.
Hey, the beginning of the season, maybe I might have doubted them a little bit.
Aha! That's what I knew it.
But
at least we're all coming clean here at the end of the season.
Exactly. Let it all out.
Them, and now we got to look at the standings because this is how it all rounds out. It's funny, I didn't realize it until after the game had started that the wild card TLC series didn't matter because no matter what, they're going to face each other.
No, it does. It matters for seeding, Magical. How dare you?
They're seeded against each other with how it works.
How dare you?
I just want to say a huge congratulations to Cloud9 Challengers. Coming in first, I mean, it's been an up and down season for a lot of the teams in the regular season, and now we have to look forward to an entire tournament, but you got to give props where props are due, and Cloud9 Challengers have been the most dominant team in NACL.
And looking across the board, you know, Fear, we already were singing their praises, but Golden Guardians having a late season push. FlyQuest as well, a team that was struggling for a long time. Just the last 2 weeks with Winsome, completely different team that you look at them, like at first you were looking at them like, that's probably an easier Challengers team to face off against. Now you see them 7th seed and you're like, I don't want to face them.
No. It is terrifying. that's all we got.
Fine,
But
I'll
I
support.
think seeing a lot of how this panned out. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation when we come into a double elim playoffs, but the first matchups do matter to that extent.
I also do like that we have not one but two provisional teams in the top 8, so the top half. Even if, like I said, the wild card TLC seeding, it didn't really matter because they're facing against each other regardless. You know, the pride's on the line there for the provisional teams. They can take that home. They can be very proud of themselves. And looking towards playoffs, I'm excited for that. But the season is over. We must close the book on this.
Could have pretended longer, Alex. Come on,
I
man.
could have, but that my job.
Another tiebreaker. Let's
my
go.
job-
Yeah.
Let's go.
Run it back.
Anybody
Run it
wanna
back.
play? Anybody want to play?
I'll play. Put me in.
All right, fine. I'll play too. You know what? Let's just get this going. We'll get all the casters involved. All right, but my job is to close out the show for us, to say au revoir to everyone. See, auf Wiedersehen. Whatever you want to say. I'm trying to remember more things.
Yo, all I'm saying is if you ain't ready for playoffs, you better get ready because NACL playoffs is about to bang from top to bottom. And if you're not there, you're a square.
That's right.
What does that expression mean, anyways?
It's not a circle. That's all I know.
Yeah, you know it means you're not around.
Yeah.
Because it's like be there or
Get
be
it.
square. You know what I mean? Not around.
Oh,
Not around.
I never actually got that. Thank you, B.
You learn something
By the
new
way,
every day.
If you learned something new like I did, or you're excited for playoffs, make sure you use the hashtag NACL on Twitter. Join the conversation. Keep it rolling. As we talked about, playoffs are coming up. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. But have a good night.
We love you.